Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another board-based building video. In today's video, we are going to talk about CC positioning and placement, what CCs to use on different styles of bases, depending on where the CC is placed on the base. If you guys have any questions regarding this subject, feel free to comment down below. And without further ado, let's jump into the video. So for our first base, we are going to talk about Town Hall 13, and the most common style of base used at Town Hall 13 is anti-3, specifically asymmetrical anti-3, and what that means is it's not a symmetrical, it's asymmetrical base, which it means different sides of the base are not the same, like the right flank isn't the same as the left side flank of the base, so each part is different. And the town hall is easier to get, but getting the 3-star is harder. The town hall and the 2nd-star are easier to get, but there are two ways that people most likely build anti-3s most of the time. One way is the CC is placed behind the town hall with an unreachable single inferno behind it, or at higher town halls like town hall 15 and above, a monolith maybe, and the CC is placed near the monolith or the single. On those bases, which we are going to get to, we are going to use tank CCs, but I'm not going to get too deep into that because we haven't seen those yet. But on these bases, that's the second style that you can, second way basically that you can use your CC on anti-3s is away from the town hall to counter far side queen charges that are not going directly into the town hall. On these bases, the best CCs you guys can use are DPS CCs. DPS stands for damage per second. And for those that can be two super minions and 2 rocket loons, 2 super minions and 2 or 3 headhunters or mass headhunter CC, but the most commonly used CC is 2 super minions and 2 rocket loons and 2 super minions and 2 headhunters, and the rest of the CC is filled with archers for this specific style of base. Now let's get into our next base that I'm going to show you with CC behind the town hall with a single. Now this is the first style I was talking about, asymmetrical anti-3 base with the CC behind the town hall with a single, usually placed near or right behind the single or the monolith at higher town halls like 15, 16 and 17. And the main reason for that is it's very common for people to basically queen charge the town hall, and one of the best ways people do try to counter that is placing a single inferno behind the town hall and placing the CC right behind that single. What that does is, let's say on this base we are gonna start our queen charge from 3 o'clock, then funnel our queen into the town hall compartment. The goal is going behind the town hall and maybe using a jump to get into the multi compartment. We are going to funnel the scatter comp, then just directly funnel the queen behind the town hall. Now, the way that the CC is placed is the queen is not going to pull the CC until the town hall itself is down and the queen is moving forward through the town hall poison to go and get whatever is behind the town hall. On these bases, we are usually going to use a tank CC, and what that means is a troop in CC like ice golem, like hound, maybe an ice hound. It doesn't really matter, but the most common CC used for these bases is hound and 2 headhunters. Now, for the filler, this is the only filler that is different from most other fillers in other CCs. You can use goblins actually because they are faster than the headhunters. Now, if you have archers in your CC, the archers are gonna be left behind, and your headhunters in the CC are going to reach the queen sooner, so there's a good possibility that the queen can actually snipe those headhunters before you even drop the poison. But if you use goblins, the goblins are gonna reach the queen sooner and faster than the headhunters, so the queen is gonna be fighting the goblins before switching target to the headhunters. Now, what this does is basically queen is directly standing on the town hall poison, and the single inferno is locking on to your queen. When the hound comes out with the headhunters have a really good chance of killing the queen if you're not fast enough with your poison or a freeze. And the hound basically tanks the queen so that single behind the town hall has enough time to actually either kill the queen, force ability, or waste spells. Waste a freeze maybe, waste a rage or two, something like that. That's the point basically. Now let's move on to some Town Hall 17 bases. Now on Town Hall 17, 15, 16, and 17 mostly, the CC completely shifts because on lower town halls you have room for creativity on the CCs you use. You can use Super Minion CC, Rocket Boom CCs, Hound CCs, and everything else. But at Town Hall 15, 16, and 17, because of the Root Writer method that basically dominates the game, right now, you need to use mostly Ice Golem. Like the baseline of all of your CCs is Ice Golems. It can be 2 Ice Golem, 2 regular Witches. It's great. The Ice Golem slows down everything from dragons if you pull them with your Sui, or for Root Riders or something like that. The Witches are great to maybe be so annoying for the Sui, or be annoying for dragons if the attacker doesn't have poison in its army comp, or they can't handle the CC very well. Or you can use 2 Ice Golem, 2 Rocket Loons, 2 Ice Golem, 3 Rocket Loons, 2 Ice Golem, 3 Headhunters, 2 Ice Golem with rest of the CC just archers. Now, all of these have their own use cases depending on where the CC is placed. Now, if the CC is placed on an area that you are going to RC charge, or the attacker is going to RC charge mostly, you usually don't want the RC to pull your Ice Golems out. So the best CC for that is 2 Ice Golems and 25 archers. What that does is, when the RC is not invisible, it's gonna pull out the archers, not the Ice Golems. So the Ice Golem remain in the CC for the time when the Root Riders actually reach the core of the base, or an area of the base which is a heavy area, and the Ice Golems can actually come and counter the Root Riders and hold them in place and stall the attack basically under a lot of DPS. But if the RC pulls the CC, you can basically pull this whole CC on a corner of a base and deal with it with the poison. On this one, the best CC to use in my opinion is either 2 Ice Golem and 25 archers, or 2 Ice Golem, 2 Rocket Loons, and the rest of the CC is filled with archers. Now, if you take a close look at this specific base, the Invis Tower on the Town Hall basically forces the attacker to end on the Town Hall most of the time instead of going directly through it. Now, what this does is, if you look at the CC, it's not directly in between the raged core, it's behind the raged core. And what that does is, when the CC is pulled, the CC isn't pulled outside of the range of the rage tower, it's pulled into the rage tower. You can do two things with this. you can either add a DPS CC in this CC and maybe like a super minion or rocket loons. And when the Root Riders or Sui gets to the core, the raged core, and pulls the CC, the raged core is activated. So the rocket loons or the super minions do humongous damage to those troops, the heroes, the siege, or anything that else that might be in the core of the base. Something else you can do is actually add witches, because witches on the rage can do some serious damage with the skellies and the sheer speed and the number of skellies they can spawn. But I think for this base specifically, with how the CC is placed, if you are going with Ice Golem CC, make sure you have some DPS damage dealing troops in there, like 3 rocket loons and 2 Ice Golems. But if you are going all out and risking everything on the DPS CC, go with 3 super minions and 2 rocket loons. Now, unlike the other base that we saw, the previous base had the CC in a way that you would pull the CC as soon as you are activating the rage tower. So the CC troops get pulled into the rage range, basically range, and they can do some more damage. But on this one, the CC is placed in a way that the CC gets pulled out in a way that prevents the troops to get into the core fast enough. Now, what this does is, if you go directly into the town hall, let's say, if you funnel the 6 o'clock compartment and the 9 o'clock compartment and go directly into the town hall, as soon as you take the town hall and you are going into the fire spitters, the CC is gonna come out and meet you halfway. What that does is, you're basically in between 2 raged compartments and you're fighting the CC. Now you need to use your use your Warden ability to not let your troops die. Now let's take the same scenario but go into a flank of a base. Let's say you funneled the 3 o'clock area of the base and the 6 o'clock area of the base, and you are going to spam your Root Riders directly into the scatter comp, then into the core of the base where CC is placed. As soon as you get to like behind the scatter, you're gonna meet with Ice Golems in the CC or any tank troops that are in the CC. What this does again is you're fighting the CC while there are raged troops, not raged troops, raged defenses around targeting your troops. This again forces an early Warden ability before you get into the core and activate the other rage tower. Now this is the main reason most people use overgrowth spells. That way people can use the tome early, then as soon as the other rage tower goes off, they can use the overgrowth on it, then end on that compartment instead of directly going through it. But yes, this is exactly the point of using central CCs on bases. For these bases, most of the time you want to have tank CCs. Those are 3 Ice Golem or 2 Ice Golem, 3 Rocket Loons or 3 Ice Golem, 10 Archers or 2 Ice Golem and 25 Archers. On this one, you could go with 2 Ice Golem and 25 Archers, because if the attacker goes for a longer RC charge, let's say the attacker goes into the core of the base with like dragons, you could actually use that to your advantage and not let the CC gets pulled. So the attacker can actually pull the CC with the Sui or something like that, or the blimp for a town hall. Then the dragons have to fight the CC in the core. Something else you could do is put 2 Ice Golem and 2 Witches in the CC, which are really annoying and can mess up the RC charge pathing for specifically dragon follow-ups, because the RC charge is much longer. So what you can do is put 2 Ice Golem and 2 Witches. You have the same tanking ability, with the 2 ice golems, but the witches can be annoying for the dragons themselves, or they can basically walk beside the skellies they spawn, and the witches themselves, they can walk beside the RC and maybe pull her off the path she's going on. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna bring you guys another video and talk a lot more in depth, like a masterclass. This is just a preview on how to actually place your CCs, where to place them, and what CC troops to use. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, make sure you guys comment them down below, and see you guys in the next video.